But I hope you guys can hear us at the moment. Apologise about that. The stream died because my computer decided to have a little bit of a hissy fit and it decided to crash. So, first time that's happened in a while. Hopefully Rando or Mike can confirm if the stream is live. That would be great. Or if anyone in the chat.
Be good.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. Apologies about that, everybody. First time this happened in a while. It said it was out of memory, apparently, which is weird.
Unfortunately, I've infected Jess with whatever disease I have that causes any appliance you have to spontaneously combust when you're about to go live.
Exactly.
So, apologies for that. But I'm excited because way through the field nicely anyway. We've had no one else pit since, due to everyone else being out on mediums. Lewis Craig still braving it out on the softs, being 21 laps. Old Yuli Show regaining on speed of race. A minor mistake on his end dropped him about a second, but he's back in DRS of the McLaren, looking to take the lead, which, as things stand, might win the championship. It'll be close. Of course, you have to expect MXI will maintain the lead, just how rapid he's running through this field at the moment. I think a bit of a wheel dipped into the grass there for Yuli Show, so that's going to be a bit of a nervy moment, as that definitely had to kink the car a small bit to the left. But he's gaining quickly. He won't be in a position to go for the move now, but if he gets a good run through the Senna S's, he might have a chance to get Brusky's pit. He's made a strategy move in this championship. Anyway, he's pitted first. And Yulicho seeing that, so he's burning the ERS to take the lead. He'll move up into the lead of the Brazilian Grand Prix on lap 23. And now we have a strategy game. Will Yulicho react to Kevrosky pitting, or is he going to go different on the strategy? Of course, we don't know what his original strategy plan was, but put Kevrosky pitting now. He's pitting onto the softs. I'm not sure if Yulicho will know that yet, if Kevrosky's pitting the softs. Yeah, we're now about to see how the strategy game is going for this finale. About if Yulicho's going to copy what Kevrosky does, or if he's going to go different. Of course, it's Yulicho who has to beat Kevrosky by 18 or more points to solidify this championship. So he needs to go different probably. We'll see about now as they're coming up to the pit lane, and he will stay out. So he's going longer. That is his strategy game. He's like, you can pit and enjoy those soft tires. They'll eventually get a bit of wear on them and become slower. I'll go a bit longer. I like my medium tires. I think there's still some decent pace in them. I'll go a bit longer, and I'll decide from there what I do with my strategy. Of course, now Kevrosky's got to pit again, definitely, because those softs will not go to the end of the race. There's 47 laps to go. So we'll be seeing Kevrosky into pits again. Yulicho can do this on a one stop if he goes for the hards. If he stretches out to about that 30 to 35, he can go on the hards and finish from there. So we'll see what the strategy game is going to be. But a lot haven't pitted yet on mediums. Because Craig's proving those softs can go a long distance anyway. 23 laps on those. Third race distance on those tires. So that's an impressive feat for his end. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not really made up for position. He's stuck in sixth with a couple penalties, so that's going to hurt him. But could he be trying a one-stop here? The thing is, if I can do a third race distance on softs, how long can I go in the mediums or the hards? So he might be going for one stop, as Yulicho's actually pitted. So I'm actually interestingly surprised about that. He's decided to do 2 laps more after an extended by a lot. What's he pinning onto though?
He's going on to mediums.
So he's forced to pit again. It's not like it's pitting again for the sake of getting your tires. He has to pit again because he needs to run 2 different compounds. So I'm assuming, going to be a medium soft strategy for him. We'll see where he comes out in relation to Kevrosky. He will have a bit of a gap to Kevrosky anyway. Maintains the position on him. Kevrosky stuck behind Yulicho at the moment. Tony, who gets ahead of him quickly. Makes it easy for cover. Next up on the road is NA9, who hasn't pitted yet, so again should be an easy enough move for him. But the gap is about a bit over 5 seconds between two. Actually, might be still. seconds, no, 5 seconds between Yuli Show and Kevrovsky, but it's not time difference we need to be key about. It's positional difference, but a lot of mixed strategies here. So take time to see the true form of this race, as Yuli Show is second out of those who have pitted. He'll have the position of Speedway Racer by the looks of things, and Speedway Racer having that penalty will hurt him. Kevrovsky needs to get a bit more time. He's got to have his teammate. Actually, I forgot 89 was actually his teammate. So, of course, that'll be an easy move for him because we thought they were asking my teammate. So, Kevrovsky needs to get about another second and a half just to get the position of Speedway Racing, get himself that much closer to Kevrovsky. He's now got Jack Craig to deal with. Jack Craig, we know he's been a bit racy. He's been racy this race. I'm not sure if I'm mixing up with Lewis Craig, but he's been racy, definitely. But an easy move for Kevrovsky up to P6. Now, next car in front of him is his rival, Yuli Show. 4 seconds to bridge, though.
Yes, and we know the pit lane lost around there about 22, 23 seconds. We saw that with Excite earlier on in the race, and he's already caught up to Yuri in front then. So it shows how powerful the undercut can be. And with Julie Show on the memes, he can stretch those memes a little bit longer. So even though the softs will last quite a bit, and Kev will start to close in about 3 tenths a lap, Julie Show's got the upper hand in terms of durability, and he could possibly hope for a late safety car, or he can have the ability to go on to softs until the end. We saw that in real life, of course, with the varying strategies for some of the drivers. Nobody in real life actually went for the hard compounder tyres. So it shows how difficult it is in real life. In the game, it's a lot easier. Only Matt Ryan has gone onto the hards, and he's last at the moment, but he did have that spin. So Tony has got past Ahmed up into 9th spot currently as well. We're almost approaching half race distance at the moment. Thank you to those of you that are watching and sticking with us at the moment. Make sure you leave us a like and hit the subscribe button. Hit that bell when you are new. The F2 Cup Series League will be starting next week, I believe. Same time, same place, and make sure you stay tuned in for that, because I think we almost got a full grid, but I will have to double check on that one, as I think Michelle is going to get past Yuri this time around in towards turn number 1 down the inside. Surely it's going to be an easy move for the Mercedes driver. Yes, Yuri didn't have to fight for that one. He's got the fresher rubber, softer rubber as well, and he's your race leader. Julie Show, though, this is a crucial move for him in terms of whether he wants to stay ahead of Kev. So Julie Show up into 4th spot ahead of Kev Rusky. And that's going to be interesting, as Tony down the inside this time with Jack Ray. There's a lot of moves going on at the moment. Tony's on fresher soft, so that was an easy move for him. But Tony does have that time penalty to bear in mind, so he's got to be careful to keep those penalties on the down low.
Yeah, something I've actually noticed is a lot of people are on the field at the moment, probably expecting a safety car anyway, and that means they're going to have to do some lift and coast here to make it to the end, unless there's a safety car. But apart from J Petrol's spin, there's been no real risk of a safety car. 11 drivers left. Brazil, you only really get early safety cars in Brazil. You rarely get later on safety cars, especially in the game. In real life, the later safety cars tend to happen due to mechanical issues. Think of like Valtteri Bottas in 2019 or Lando Norris last year. And then we had another safety car in 2019 due to the safety car packing up the grid. So at the moment, it doesn't look like we'll have a safety car, which is going to hurt those low on fuel. And could that decide the championship potentially, as we have NA9 into the pits of the mediums. See what he goes on for. Still 3 drivers to pit in this race. BY Racer, Acorn, and M. Ryan yet to make their trip to
and
the
Steven.
pit stops. Oh, Steven has a pit either. So 4 drivers yet to make their trip to the pits. Yeah, more pitting will happen, obviously. Really show forced to pit again, and most drivers will probably pit again just due to the tyre wear.
Yeah, because we saw how difficult it was in real life. So if these drivers don't pit again, I'll be very surprised. Because I doubt that those tyres will get to the end of the race quite comfortably. If they want to get the optimum pace on the tyres, they will be pitting one more time. That's what I would do if I was in that 100% race. It is the finale after all. For some people not in the championship fight, they'll be giving it their all. As Judy Show goes for the move on his teammate Steven quite easily, as he's now in third spot and a net P2, which I think is very, very key. Bearing in mind, double point. I'm going to get the point up on my other monitor just so I can have roughly an idea as to how many scores, what points. But it would help if I had the right folder with me. So I will keep an eye on that at some point. But yeah, Judy shot up into third. If he is where he is now, he would score 36 points. And if Kev is where he is now, he would score, what's 12? 24 points. So 36 minus 24, that'll be 12. So that still won't be enough for Judy Show to claim that title at the moment. Bearing in mind it's the America's Cup as well. We have to find out who's wearing the America's Cup to find out who will claim the overall championship as well, because that could be a massive deciding factor as well. But there we go. So when will the likes of Yuri pit? Well, Steven's going to pit now, so he gets his stop out of the way. I won't be surprised if Deck's deciding to break the status quo and he stays out.
Yeah, a lot of different strategies are performing here. You see very few drivers on similar lap times on similar tires, so everyone has their own opinion on what is the quickest way to get 71 laps done around here. And it'll only be time to tell until we figure out who's got the best strategy for this. But you're thinking at this stage, the likes of Speedway Racer and Acorn will probably be trying to one-stop here. They'll probably pit onto a hard set of tires very soon. Do have distance on mediums, have distance on hards. Of course, that's just, in my opinion, they could be thinking of doing something completely different. For all I know, they could toss up full wets. And I mean, yeah, there could be rain, but usually you can tell early on if there'll be rain depending on how the drivers are doing the strategy. It's different with a 100% race, but the drivers will know if there's rain or not expected. Doesn't look like anyway. Look in the cloud. It's mainly blue with patches of white. There is no apocalyptic looking cloud like we had on Friday in Brazil, which has led to some very nice edits on TikTok, I will not lie. But no one fouling at the moment. It's just people trying to gain on other drivers. I think next battle we'll see forming will probably be Jack Craig on M. Ryan, which should happen in a couple laps time. But nothing really forming at the moment. We're kind of in a low period right now as we approach half race distance.
Yeah, not surprised really. They're just getting a little bit into their flow. I was just, while she was speaking, sending Mike the point. So I think we've given Mike the unofficial role of permutations man. So he'll be keeping an eye on the points as it goes. And if it drastically changes, he will let us know. As it basically, if the likes of Julie Show, Steven or Deck have a realistic chance of winning the championship, he will tell us. But at the moment, it looks like it's still going to go to Kev. So I'm going to do some maths here. First place gets 50 points tonight. Second place gets 40. Third place gets 36. Fourth place gets 30 points. Fifth place gets 24. Sixth gets 20. Seventh gets 16. Eighth gets 12. Ninth gets 10 points. 10th gets 8 points. 11 gets 4. And 12 gets 2 points. And then obviously 0, 0 is 0. So 13th and below, they won't get any points whatsoever. So, and don't forget, fastest lap inside the top 12 scores you 2 points. I'm not sure it's double points for that as well. I don't think it is. But again, I'll have to double check with Risky or Matt, who's watching the stream, or any admins that are watching the stream, is the fastest lap points worth 4 points or 2 points this race. So we know for permutation's sake. But Jack Cray, by the way, he almost got past Matt Ryan, but couldn't quite do so at the moment. But we're almost reaching the distance where if we were doing a 50% race, Michelle would win it. But obviously the soft tyres wouldn't go long in a 50% race, of course. As all looking very close for Jack Craig. Is looking very racy. And Yuri going to go into the pits right now. And I wonder what side he's going to go on. Let's go on board with him right now in his McLaren garage. Of course, Lando Norris getting P2 last weekend. Oh, that's interesting. He's on hard.
One stop. He's going for the one stop.
Very brave, but I can see why he wants to do it. He wants to get to the end. And he thinks the mediums won't make it. He's doing the opposite of what Matt Ryan's doing.
I mean, he couldn't pit on the mediums for one stop anyway because he's on the mediums. But here comes Jack Craig on M. Ryan. We're close to touching off Jun Zhao. But I think Jack Craig has a move. Unless M. Ryan decides to fight that back. But on 33 lap old hards, he's almost out of DRS through the ZS's alone compared to the 4 lap old softs that Jack Craig has on his AlphaTauri. But we have O'Steven now looking at the back of Tony. Instead, now we actually have Lewis Craig looking at the back of Acorn. The action's now unfolding after we have a few laps of no pace. Jesus Christ, that almost could have been a safety car. Acorn spins off Miguelio and almost collects Lewis Craig, which almost would have definitely brought out a safety car and changed this race completely. But fortunately, he missed it. He's lost the position though, and a bit of time to Lewis Craig. He's gone into the pits. Those medium tires are done and dusted. O'Steven though puts Tony in the dust as he goes up into P6 now due to Acorn pitting. Tony's pitted also off for his second pit stop actually, so he's the first to go on to his second pit stop, which frees O'Steven and gives him a lovely bit of clean air in front of him. The racer pits into fifth also, which is going to be good for his strategy anyway, yes. Especially if he is committing to the one-stopper again. For the one-stopper to work, he'll need no safety car, but I think what will bear him is a late safety car after everyone else pits and he's in an optimal position, because if there's a late safety car, you're assuming everyone's going to come into the pits, because if you decide to stay out on a safety car, especially on a track where overtaking is possible, you are just going to see yourself dropped out of the field on used tires.
Excites in. So Wonder, he's going mediums.
I think he's covering off Speedway Racer.
Yeah, I think he is. Now, I think he may need to do one more stop. Mediums can last the rest of this race, but ultimately, it's going to be a bit of a push for the Mercedes driver, but he is looking like he's going to be favourite to win this race after taking the lead so early on and managing his soft tyres early on quite well. And, well, in his first stint when he pitted, and he also managed the mediums quite well as well. So I wonder if the medium stint for him is going to work out a lot better for the Mercedes driver. So he's in a third, but he's already catching to Kev, so that's going to be a huge threat, and he's covered Yuri quite nicely, in fact. So that just shows how big of a gap Michelle actually has. As Deck, by the way, gets back past Jack Craig up into 7th spot. He's also going for the one stop, and he even said in the chat earlier on he's going through Veradura. Oh, Jack Craig, that was a great move. We didn't see much moves going through there. I wonder if Deck is going to risk it for a chocolate biscuit as they head towards the technical sections of the circuit, past in towards Pico de Pato, which is quite tight and quite twisty. Now heading towards the final sector of turn 12, which is heading towards Junkao, through 13 and 14 now of City the Boxes, and I don't know what the Portuguese name for it, so I'm going to call it the Bleachers, which is the English term for it. He's going to go for it, I think, through here. Here comes Deck in towards turn number 1. And I think he's got it. With hardly any ERS either. On the hards, he's doing better than someone on 7 lap of softs. But Jack's not going to give up here. He's got, I think he's derating. He's on 0 ERS. He's on 0 ERS, but he's going to go for it anyway. Or he's going to go to the right-hand side of Deck in towards turn 4 to see the Largo in towards turn 5 now. No. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, Deck on 2 lap of hards. doing a better job than I'm expecting. So fair play to Deck.
Yeah, I think going back to I'm excited. I think he had like a 10-second gap. So I think even if his tires do wear off, he's had enough of a gap. His pace has been immaculate in this race. That I think this race is set on for him unless he makes a mistake or there is a safety car. If this race runs green to the end, he should comfortably win this race, even if there is a tire fall off. But there is the risk of fuel. He's looking good at fuel at the moment, but I've noticed a lot of drivers are on yellow fuel, which means they are already below the limit, which means they'll have to do some lifting and coasting. And you can imagine that more will drop below unless they do some fuel management. So we could be seeing some drivers driving around in a car as fast as a Fiat towards the end when their fuel runs out. Because when your fuel runs out, you're better off just getting out of the car and walking to the finish line. It will go very slow.
Yes, I think it is a track where it can burn a bit of fuel if you are using some ERS, and all Deck's going to challenge Jack once again. We saw Jack challenging in the Cena de Largo as well, and we got Ahmed as well also in this fight as well. So don't forget, it is not the trolley train, this is the Deck train for P7 on the grid. As Kev
Is in.
is covering off our championship fight, but he's already lost a lot of time, so that's going to be huge championship-wise. So ideally, he wants to come out in a reasonable good position, but bearing in mind some drivers still yet to box, as Lewis 3-second time penalty, so another penalty. Fair play to ones who are keeping it clean, that being one of them, Stephen, MXI, and Julie Show. So those 3 or 4 drivers keeping it clean with hardly any penalties. They may be on a few warnings though, so we'll keep an eye on that as it continues. So Kev comes down in P6, and wow, that is not good because P6 only gets you 20 points, and obviously where Julie Show is with leading, and if he wants to stretch it a little bit maybe into a possible safety car, that could be absolutely massive in terms of the championship. But you never know, things could all change here at VSL. And I'm just seeing, so the ones who still yet to do a second stop, Lewis Craig I think will definitely have to pit again. Julie Show I think will hope for a late safety car. Matt Ryan I think hasn't pitted at all. But he's not giving up, isn't he? Even though he's in 11th, he's on 38 lap old hard. He definitely wants to make it a one stop, doesn't he?
He might try and go the entire race, pit on the last lap, just show off his tire skills. But oh yeah, Albon did that. I was more referring to Paris, but yeah, Albon did in Australia a couple of years ago. Forgot that.
A year ago, actually.
I don't know. I tend to forget Australia because of the time of day it's on.
Yeah, because it is at the beginning of the year as well. Remember when we had loads of red flags this year? Oh, God, in real life, that was an absolute nightmare. But he's still going on 39 laps, whereas everyone else has already pitted. He's going to drop by a lot, but at least he's still in this race. He's still going to get some decent points, which is better than obviously what some people tonight who are not racing in Tier 2, of course. Bearing in mind, Tier 1 finished last week, and Glock was the one who took the championship, but it was quite early on. I think it was in round number 13 where he took the championship. So he won that one. He finished the season on 252 points, and then Mata came in second by quite a bit over Casper as well. It was 1 point in the end, but then don't forget, obviously Finley finished third in the regional cup, so he got an extra 10 points. So yeah, the gap I think was a bit more in the end, as Kev sets the fastest lap of the race so far. But is it going to be enough to catch Stephen? We never know. As Depp once again, oh look at this, it's Depp versus Jack for P7. They've been fighting since I think Deck has pitted, and it doesn't matter what you throw at Deck in terms of tyres. He wants to give it his all out on there on the track, but he is running a bit out of battery. I think so is Jack. A bit aggressive defending from both of them, but Jack tucks in towards turn number 4. Oh, they touch wheels. They bang wheels, but luckily they stay on the track. Deck stays in 7th and Jack in 8th. And Ahmed at an N89 has gained a bit of time because of that. But let's check the penalties, actually. Oh, N89's on 6 seconds. So he needs to, I think, clear Jack Craig of 3 seconds if he wants to get P8 in this race.
I was still waiting for Yulisho to pay. He's managing out in front. Gap to the leader. I'm just trying to think if he it'll actually be. So another 5 seconds for Kevrovsky will give him the position on Yulisho. So Yulisho needs to be careful of that because you're assuming Kevrovsky is putting in some big laps right now. BMR Racer gets ahead of Lewis Craig for P3 at the moment. But yeah, I would just see Kevrovsky just chip away at the lead of Yulisho. Of course, realistically, the lead is Excited and will probably maintain that way as we come up to the closing stages. 1/3 of the race to come. If I'm not right, as Tony has retired in the pits.
Yep, he's retired in the pit. I believe he's retired in the pits because we don't want a safety car. Please, if we get a safety car, I will die.
Oh, and Jack Craig has spawned.
I probably jinxed it, didn't I? If that was the case, I was worried I would jinx it. But if you spin around here, around Brazil, it's really hard to pretty much cool your temperatures down. So Jack needs to, I think, slow down a little bit, even though Matt Ryan's going to catch up because any movement of the throttle, and if you go normally for like a few corners, you're going to end up spinning anyway. So Jack Craig's he's got a 10-second buffer now to N89, which is not ideal because we were liking that battle between N89 and Jack Craig, but it will have to wait for a little bit longer, and we still got yellow flag set, so I do believe that's Tony's AI crawling around the circuit. And I think he's going to make it to a stop soon if it hasn't already. Gap between Judy Show and Excite as I get the tyres up again, 4.7 seconds, and it will start to close down, I think, as the race goes on. With Judy Show's tyres will start to die probably in about 10 laps or so, I think, because the memes can last quite a bit longer compared to the softs. We did see the likes of Yuri make those memes last a bit longer, so I think Judy Show is going to do exactly the same. It has quieted down, hasn't it? Unless if you're Steven, who is chasing down Lewis Craig for P4.
Lewis Craig actually pits as you say that.
Oh, right. My bad then.
We still got a bit of strategy to play because I'm assuming Kevrovsky will have to pit again. But I think Yulisho's only got 1 pit left in him, so that this championship's not wrapped up as Kevrovsky things stands. They're on a bit off Yulisho. The prediction at the moment is that Yulisho will finish second and Kevrovsky 5th or 6th. So that might, if my maths is right, that might win Yulisho the championship if it ends like that second.
So Judy Show will be on 50 if he wins. Kev will be 5 points. So 24. So it'll be 24 points. So 50 minus 24, and I don't know who would win the America's Cup. So that'll be 26 points. So we will have to work out who's won the America's Cup as well in order to see who would get the extra points. So we will have to do the maths if that's the case. It'll be so Kev will be. I'm just trying to do the maths again. 24. So it'll be 24 points for Kev. So it's not letting me do the maths, unfortunately, for that. I thought it automatically would do it, but it's not doing it. So my bad.
Ahead of old Stephen now.
Yeah, Stephen is going to chase down Kev, and that's not what he wants. Obviously, Kev's got P4 back, so that's giving him more of a chance.
Yeah, I think he's he's just on 22 seconds, so this lap he'll be within the pit stop of Yulisho. Well, of course, we're assuming Kevrovsky's pin again unless he does a massive stint on those soft tires. Only time will tell us. M9 finally gets off those hard tires. He's done 43 laps on the hard tires, which is a good sign for Speedway Racer at Acorn. It basically confirms that they can finish the race on their tires, so that will come into play. Speedway Racer will probably lead this race. Actually, I'm excited might finish this race on his tires. Just seeing his face, like he's got a 17-second gap. He might even just pull the 22-second gap he needs. He's almost going to retake the lead here on Yuli's show in a couple laps time. Kevroski now in 21 seconds, so he will get ahead of Yuli's show, which, if he finishes ahead of Yuli's show, we don't even need to do the maths. It'll be over at that stage, or he finishes directly behind him. We won't need to whip out the calculators, as I had to do after Portugal for the European Cup, to figure out that Acorn actually surprisingly won the European Cup because everyone else had an unfortunate day in the office.
Whereas Dak had a nice race in the office. Whereas,
no, he didn't either. He was just the only one who didn't have an incident in the last few laps.
Oh, right. Whereas in Portugal in Tier 1, it came down to the final lap to decide who the European Open winner was, which was quite entertaining.
It was the same in Tier 2. It was just, again, mainly because everyone crashed because it started raining at the end. If I remember right, it started raining at the end and some people stayed out on softs, and it just went horribly wrong. But we're about to see MXI take the lead in the next lap. I'm assuming his pace just been brilliant today. He's looking good to take this win comfortably here. Kevroski slowly gaining on Speedway Racer to take P3 off him. He'll have P3 on penalties at the moment, though. Of course, penalties might play a factor towards the end of the race. Coming up to 20 laps to go. 25 laps to go right now, I believe.
Yep.
Before we finish this race. DRS range for the Mercedes on the Alpine. So this should be an easy enough move for MXI. I doubt Yuli Show's going to defend this. He doesn't want to lose more time to Kevroski for when he pits. He might come in right now just to avoid it. But see what his strategy is. I don't think he's coming in, I think. Nope, he's staying very tight line.
Yeah, he's staying out, and Michel's going to have that DRS in towards turn number 1, but he's decided not to use it. And in terms of DRS, I think Michel's Excite's going to have some DRS. Or is he not? Or is he going to be a bit patient and going to use it without anyway? You can see Julie Show is derating quite bad in towards Justina Largo. Now, interesting point from Leroy in the chat. We saw that earlier on his soft stint, Excite did 21 laps on the soft, so he's predicting that Kev will probably do the same and do 21 laps on the soft, and then you'll probably go on to another set of softs at the end. So it will be double softs then. So. Yeah. So, a bit of a twitch from Excite.
That would have been unfortunate anyway, if he crashed out there after the race he's been having.
But he hasn't lost that much time, surprisingly.
No, he's still on DRS.
Exactly. So I think that DRS is kind of pretty much saved him in a way. But is he going to challenge Julie Show once more? He knows he has to pit again, so I don't think he's going to be that worried about not going for it yet, because the gap between everybody else is that high anyway. So he's just going to wait for the perfect opportunity. If he can't overtake on track, he can wait until obviously Julie Show pits, or they might pit roughly at the same time.
Yeah, Kevroski, I think he's going to be a bit more aggressive on this move than I'm excited. He does need to clear Speed Racer, which he's going to do before DRS is even available. Easy move for the Aston Martin driver. 18 seconds now off the lead. Still will have to pit. There's still a lot he will have to do just to seal the title. But at the moment, he is looking alright. I think he'll have to do a bit more overtaking towards the end just to seal it. But it's going to be interesting. I can't really tell how it's going to unfold towards the end. Mainly just due to him excited just having it being the head of the crop here. He's confidently going to win, which means it won't be Licho or Kevroski.
He's going to go for it. The outside this time in towards turn number 1. Can he make it stick? Oh, Julie Show is defending that quite nicely.
I think it was DRS chicken. I think it was DRS chicken from outside. He took a very wide right there.
I noticed that.
DRS chicken.
I noticed that, and I think he's going to go for it here into turn 4.
He's just flying this. I'm actually surprised he's flying this.
He was fighting this, but Excite with the fresher rubber and the more durable rubber is now returning the race lead with 22 laps to go of this Brazilian Grand Prix. And in 22 laps time, we will find out who has won the overall championship and who has won the America's Cup, because that's still to be decided as well, because they get a prize in that as well. We may as well bring Mike in to the fray, because we haven't heard from Mike at all as well, and he said that we can bring him in at any time that he likes. So at the moment, Mike, it looks like Kev is gonna win it, but interesting developments in terms of who's gonna potentially get P2. It looks like it could still be anyone's game who's gonna get the final spot on the overall championship in P3.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in terms of what's going on in the championship right now, as you mentioned, Kev in a good position so far, but with Y-Rigs potentially going to the end, and obviously MX Site potentially going to the end as well, Julie Show and Kev will need to make a pit stop.
Yeah.
Will they have enough grip on their tyres to come back through at the end? Because they are going to lose around 23 seconds in the pit stop phase. And interestingly, this is the championship permutations, and this includes the America's Cup as well. Because Kev Rusky has a 20-point lead in the America's Cup, and if Kev Rusky finishes 4th and Julie Shaw wins the race, then Julie Shaw would overtake Kev in both championships and would walk away as the overall champion as well as the America's Cup champion.
Oh, that is interesting. Bearing in mind, I will give you a quick rundown as to what the points for the if you win first, second, or third in the championship. I nearly went into the other Discord voice channel. That wouldn't be good. 15 points for first place. So basically whoever wins the America's Cup gets an extra 15 points to their tally. Second place, 10 points. Third place, 5 points. And it can make or break your championship. It really can. So we will, again, have to do the maths. Luckily, I found a way to get the maths to be calculated automatically. So then I won't be crowning the wrong champion, which I've done before in one league. And I do not want to do it again. So thank you, Mike. We'll bring you back in just towards the end of the race where things get a bit hectic in terms of math. You can tell why I only got a C in GCSE, because I'm absolutely rubbish at maths. That's why I get Excel to do it for me. Now, Julie Show's tyres, it's around about 35% right now. We got, this is the first time I've seen this in a while actually, that randomly the tyre performance graphic pops up on my screen. It's crazy. Julie Show's in, as I said that. There we go.
18 laps on softs.
Can be done. We saw Excite do it earlier with the 23 laps, I believe.
Oh yeah, he could definitely go to the end, but it might be a bit of management towards it. It might hurt him towards the end. I'm assuming Kev Ross is going to pit on to softs also, but they'll be nearer softs for him. But where is he going to come out? Is he going to... He won't clear his Fever race. I think it's going to be close. Should be an easy enough move for him, which will be bad for Kev Rusky. If he does clear him easy, just behind him in P4, he has the position on track, so
yes,
he's looking nailed on for a P2 here. Just not what Kev Rusky needs. At the moment, Kev Rusky is going to be around Acorn when he comes out, I think. I think he has enough post even has new softs on, so he'll be gaining on that time a bit. Trying to the math here quickly. 37. Oh no, he'll have it. He'll comfortably stay ahead of Acorn, actually, so...
He will. That was close between Julie Sher and Urian towards
Good touch.
the final sector as Excite pits. So he wants to go on to softs until the end. And I'm guessing he wants to cover off Julie's show.
I'm assuming that's the strategy. Julie Show probably is stuck behind the McLaren, who's going to the end.
Julie Show, I think
take the lead.
The McLaren, I think, could take the lead. Oh, Julie Show to the inside. And it's a bad camera angle, so I have to go on board shot there. That camera angle was absolute pants when Codemasters there. There we go. But Judy Show pulls away by 8/10 already. And he's closing up to Excite. This is going to be an interesting end to the race. I can't wait.
And wait, does Kwiatkowski pit now? He's a bit off camera. He's going to... These guys fight. I think MXI's made a mistake pinning here. He could have definitely gone to the end and taken his win. I think he's panicked, and he might have ruined a potential easy win. He's going to have to face some DRS threat unless he pulls out of it right now. Going to be tight. No, Yubicho's going to have DRS. I think it's going to be just up the hill here.
He will just about have DRS, I think.
It's going to be close. It's coming up about now. Very tight. He has a just, and that's just going to... Kwiatkowski pits now. That is going to make Yuli Show's MXI's life a bit more difficult than it has to be. But West Kwiatkowski pit now. This is going to be crucial. Lewis Craig will be ahead, but it's Acorn he needs to watch out for. If he clears Acorn, he'll be in a good position to win the championship. Waiting now. I think he's going to have this comfortably on Acorn. He'll have P5. Going to be tight. No, it's not even going to be tight at all. I think Kwiatkowski has this easily. Oh, Stephen gets ahead of Acorn.
Wow.
Easy. Oh, I was actually looking at M. Rhymestar, who's been lapped. That's my bad.
Yeah, it's Matt Ryan who's being lapped, unfortunately. But he's still... Actually, no, it was Deck he was battling with. It was Acorn. Matt Ryan is in towards turn 5. Towards
oh, no, I was looking at that for Kwiatkowski coming out. I was like, oh, it's actually close. No, I was looking at M. Ryan.
Yeah.
But,
so only one driver lapped. Everyone else still on the lead lap, which is great to see.
That is good for Kwiatkowski coming out on P5. So as things stand, I think he just has his championship. It's going to be 30.
It's gonna be close because 24 points will belong to Kev if he stays where he is, and Julie Show will get 40 points. So because 20 times 2, 40 points.
So I think to win this championship, Julie Show needs to overtake MXcited.
He does.
No, Kwiatkowski doesn't move. Yeah, to win, it's simple. Unless Kwiatkowski catches up to Lewis and Speedway Racer to win this championship, Julie Show needs to win this race.
So basically, if Julie Show wins the race, he wins. Oh, Jack breaks out the race.
Oh no, never mind that. Never mind. We've got a safety car. And that has changed it completely.
That has opened the door for the likes of Lewis, Deck. They could go on fresh softs. If you're not on fresh softs, if I were you, box this lap, go on softs. Otherwise, you're going to be left vulnerable at the end of the race. Now, what happened to Jack then?
He lost it off turn 10, I believe.
Yuri unsurprisingly comes in. And Lewis comes in too. And Deck, if I were you, I would come in too. If you're...
What is going to happen here? So that puts Kwiatkowski... I think he might just have P3 here. Should have P3. It's going to be close. He needs to watch that delta.
Because that could make or break your championship if you lose out on delta as well.
Oh, drive-through will ruin it. So they're being extra cautious here. It's easier behind a safety car because you don't have to have that. You don't have like the race still kind of going live essentially.
Yes.
But I think this benefits Kwiatkowski because now he's in a better championship position. My phone battery is on the verge of death. Ooh, that is not what I want. 1 second. It's made myself my audio a bit, but I'd rather not have a dead phone. You won't hear me at all.
None of us wants a dead phone. We are riding on board with the Mercedes safety car, Bert Mylander. So everyone pretty much has boxed except Matt Ryan, who I believe is going to try and get his lap back, but that's not going to happen because he's a lap down anyway. So He is safety car. The only person that the safety car is not going to help is Matt Ryan. But everybody else is going to work out perfectly for them as well. And the safety car, I'm just looking at Michel at the moment in front. He was a little bit further away from the safety car than I thought. And now he's closing up to it again. That's why I was a bit confused. So probably for some drivers, they got the Delta. That's why they were going slow in the final corner.
No, they wouldn't have Delta now.
They won't have Delta now, but Excite was further away from the safety car for a little bit, but now he's back closing in because the orange light is back on. So I did see the green light because he was not catching up.
As a few cars are trying to let Ryan unlap himself, I see.
That is nice of them.
It's near impossible to do, though.
I have seen it done in a 100% race before, though. I was watching a content creator on Sunday, and they were
but
just
they're all the same Discord call, so they're all orchestrating it essentially.
No. They were all watching the same stream, and they were like, if you see a lapped car, go wide and let him pass, basically. But even then, he was still trying to catch up to everybody. So
yeah, it's near impossible to do.
And they're gonna have to do the same for Ahmed as well, because I think he's a lap down as well.
Where is he? Oh, because he pitted. Yeah, he pitted.
Yeah, he pitted. So safety car's in. No, not going to happen. So here comes Michel, who's going to lead the field away. And as you're the lead commentator for this here, I'll hand it over to you for the restart.
Right. So I'm excited. Who has looked until he decided to make a third pit stop, comfortable for a win. He's got a safety car restart to deal with it. Yuli Show has got a championship win to win here. He's got Kevrosky right behind him, which is not what he needs. Few guys on fresher tires will be attacking them. He's going to wait to the line exactly as I'm excited. He's gone now, and he's caught out Yuli Show's a bad start for Yuli Show. Could this be a move potential for Kevrosky? He's not close enough, but watch out behind. Speed Racer might try to set one. But no, we're all good at the moment. 7 cars on the lead lap at the moment. 13 laps to go to decide this championship and this race. But MXide has survived the first part anyway. But Yuli Show looks a bit fast on the straight. That's something I've noticed in the start race. He has looked a bit faster on the straights. Yellow flag in.
That's just people moving out the way because they're lapped.
Okay. So we are good at the moment. No moves at the moment, though, between the 7 drivers on the lead lap anyway. Lewis Craig, I think, is the closest. He's potentially trying one on to Speed Racer. They both have penalties. I think they're both on 6, so they're going to hurt a bit.
Lewis Craig, he's trying to go past in towards the final sector. Juggal, they make contact!
Oh.
They make contact. Yuri, be careful with the rejoin, please. Luckily, the cars are ghosts anyway, so you can just go through, but that was questionable there. I wonder if that will be looked at between Lewis Craig and Yuri there, but
oh, definitely be looked at. It
will definitely be looked at by the stewards, but this could be, well, with Kev third, I believe that will still do enough for him to be champion, because Kev will be on 36 points, Julie Show will be on 40, so the gap will only come down by 4, if my math is correct. So, no matter what Julie Show does, as long as Kev stays ideally within this top 3.
If Kev gets a podium, he's won the championship.
Yes, if he's won both championships, I believe, if that's the case.
Yeah, because I think actually, if Kev loses the America's Cup, he's lost the championship. So essentially, it's who wins the America's Cup. Let's just leave it at that.
Between Kev and Julie Show, if you lose the America's Cup, you lose the championship. But
it's okay. It's at the moment, it's looking like it needs to come down to a mistake from Kevrosky. 10 laps to go. Lucho's looking to take a win here just to increase his chances anyway. DRS is now enabled. He'll have a chat run into turn 4 into the curve of the soul. Try a move here. DRS will be enabled on the Alpine. He's definitely going to go for here. Lewis Craig, that's another penalty. Just dropped out. even more, and it's going to help Kevruski that bit more. So not close enough to get the move on. I'm excited. He'll have to win our left straight. He's dropping down a bit, actually.
He is.
I assume you're excited. He's using some of his Ahari to gain a bit of a gap. But they've dropped Kevruski a bit. Loose Craig is directly behind him, and we've seen the start race. Loose Craig is going to go for a move. What? Twitchy there, really show. He can't afford a mistake at this stage, otherwise that will be game over for him.
I think Julie Show's going to hope that Kev makes a mistake, just like Kev hoped Julie Show make a mistake last week.
He needs a mistake. Lewis Craig is going to get this move. I think Kevruski is just going to get out of the way. I think down here, he'll just need to maintain the 9-second gap at this stage and not be overtaken again. And that's to go, and he does.
Lewis's penalty, so I don't think Kev's going to fight too much. Yuri does get past.
He's more worried about Steven. He'll be more worried about Steven, though.
Yeah, Steven is catching, by the way, 1.3 seconds. Yuri gets another penalty. So that puts him to 6 seconds, I believe. Let's just get the penalties up anyway. Hold on a minute. So we've got 9 seconds for Lewis Craig, 6 for Yuri, 6 seconds for Ahmed, and 3 seconds for Matt Ryan. Everyone else is squeaky clean with penalties. I think a lot of them did have 5 seconds penalty, which they cleared in the pit lane in the last safety car.
I actually don't think anyone's got a 5 second yet. I think it's just the same drivers picking up penalties.
I swear people had more. It's probably because of the DNFers that probably had penalties.
Yeah, Jack and Tony definitely had penalties.
Oh, yeah, they did. So that was probably my bad, but we have got 10 laps to go until the end of Season 11, and this move could decide everything. Here comes Julie Show to the left-hand side, to the inside, and he gets past, but would have preferred for DRS? Well, only time will tell as they make their way towards the centre S now. Look at the gap he's pulling. Kev cannot afford to be passed by Steven now that Julie Show is leading this race. And Julie Show can't afford to push too much because otherwise his tyres will fall at an edge of a cliff. Now, as it stands, this could be... Sorry?
It's coming to the wire. It's going to be on can O'Stephen get ahead of Kevruski now.
Yeah.
As things stand.
I think it could come down to Steven and Kev, to be honest, whatever.
If you still stays in P1, yeah. If the depends where Kevruski finishes.
Yeah,
I think Kevruski's out of the podium, it's over.
So he's going to finish third at the moment due to Lewis Craig's 9-second penalty. I think, yeah, it is 9 seconds.
Yeah.
So he's going to finish third. So as it stands, so obviously 50 for the winner and 36 for, my bad, 30 for, so that'll be 20 points. That's going to be comeback.
I'm just going to quickly jump in and say that obviously fastest lap is also available as well.
Is that 2 points or is it double point for that as well?
It doesn't matter whether it's 2 points or double points. If Kev finishes fourth for fastest lap, he wins the championship.
Oh, Kev has fastest lap.
Thank you very much, Mike.
No, I don't think anyone else.
Lewis Craig has fastest lap.
Yeah, it's Lewis. Never mind.
So I wonder if Kev wants to go fastest lap as well. And
he can't at this stage. He can't.
But look at how close it is between the likes of Steven, Yuri, and Julie Show, and Excite on overall pace.
Tires are gone.
Tires are gone, but Lewis Craig still has the upper hand, so that's why he can go quicker, and he's catching up to the top two. If Lewis Craig gets ahead of Julie Show, then he's won the championship, and obviously we saw Michelle get the lead once again.
They're going wheel to wheel. Usual retakes the lead.
Apologies that we missed the battle for the lead, by the way, a moment ago.
Kevruski's just dropping that bit more often, but he's matching the pace of O'Stephen, which is what he needs to do to win the championship. And Lewis Craig is definitely going to send them here. Lewis Craig is looking to take this on track. He still has that 9 seconds worth of penalties. MXI lets him through. He's like, I do not want to fight this. You go ahead, sir. You have 9 seconds worth of penalties. I'll still be ahead of you when the flag comes down. No bother. So he shows now looking in his mirrors at a very aggressive Lewis Craig, and Kevrosky has taken about 6 attempts off. Oh, Stephen, that lap alone. He's gained it on the actually onto the grass as I'm excited.
Oh, that's lost him a bit of time,
But
actually.
Kevrosky, this might put Kevrosky back on the podium and back it. Oh, this is it's gone completely from him. Excited, who looked to have the easiest win ever, and a safety car has come out and ruined it for him. And he'll still get a podium, but he's running fourth at the moment. But that's just
That's gutting for him. I think without that safety car, that would have been an easy win for Excite.
And I think Kevrosky now has the championship because now two cars have to overtake him.
Yeah, he does at this point. Because even with Julie Show winning, the gap will be, I think, 16 points, and the gap coming into it was 20. So
it'll be even lower because of Lewis Craig's penalty. Kevrosky's P2 at the moment.
Oh yeah, Kevrosky's P2. So yeah, the gap will it would only be like a 5-point gap. So as it stands, Kev will still be your champion for season 11 to add to the history books. But he's got to keep it on the track and make sure he doesn't pick up any penalties. So if he picks up a penalty,
he should let Lewis Craig through here, realistically.
Yeah, for Julie Show, if I was him, let him through. He's going to fight for it. If I were him, Julie Show, don't fight for it. Because Lewis Craig has got 3 or 4 laps to make up 9 seconds, which I don't think is going to happen realistically.
No, he needs stuff to happen. Kevrosky is out of his hands right now.
Now he does it.
Yeah, he's got this win realistically. It's out of his hands, the championship. It's in the other's hands if he wins this championship. Mainly Kevrosky needs to make an error, but he's pulling from MXI. Speedrun Races got ahead of Stephen. Stephen's pace has dropped massively. It's looking more and more likely that Kevrosky will win this unless he makes an error himself rather than he gets past. 3 laps to go when they cross the line the next time. Actually, 4. Yeah, 4. 4 laps to go. And who's Craig is? Jesus Christ, he's good in NASCAR. Ulysho's dropping into Kevrosky. This tires just dropped off the cliff completely. That can happen in this game. That just one random point, they will just drop off a cliff. Kevrosky might get the position on track. He might even extend his championship lead. It's fallen off Ulysho. Has there been an error on the Alpine, or is Ulysho just strategically just deciding he might just push Kevrosky back into everyone else and hope they overtake him? Actually, that might be his plan. If he's just gonna back Kevrosky into everyone and just hope for some overtaking to happen. A reverse Carlos Sainz in Singapore.
In terms of constructors, they get whatever they get whatever the drivers do. I think that's what it is at the moment. So
yeah, that's exactly what Ulysho is. Because look how slow he's going for these corners, and look how much the rest are gaining.
Yeah, I think Kev won this title. I think Julie Show was. I did say I was a bit worried he was pushing too much, but the safety car, and Kev was just doing it at the right. He was pushing at the right time, and he's managing his tyres better. And I think Kev's going to get past to the outside line and towards turn number 1. And is he going to make it stick? Is he going to go a long way around to the outside? They can't afford to make contact. Kev doesn't get past. This is a great battle between the 2 championship protagonists. It's Julie Show versus Kev. And by the way, if we've got to fight for P3 in the standings as well, I'll bring Mike back into this as well. And I believe, if I'm correct, if Acorn finishes ahead of Stephen, Acorn gets 3rd in the championship. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely. As it currently stands, Acorn will finish 3rd in the America's Cup, which obviously would give him that 5 extra points, closes that gap down. All he needs to do, though, is try and get himself ahead of Steven. 3.6 seconds the gap, 3.5 now, but if a 3-second time penalty comes, it's game on.
It is game on, so thank you to those of you that have joined us for this titanic battle to the finish. Things could go right, things could go wrong, and we've had 4 or 5 championship protagonists going into this. 4 will come out losers, 1 will come out the winner. And at the moment it's looking like it's Kev, but he wants to get it on the road. If I was him though, I wouldn't fight for it that much. Meanwhile, Yuri gets past Excite for P4, but he's got that penalty, so I don't think Excite was fighting it too much. So if I was Kev, just stay behind Julie Show. You're going to win the championship anyway. But he's going to fight for on track. You can't afford to take that much risks. If you don't want your championship to be decided by a crash or in the stewards room. So Julie Show keeps ahead of Kev. Oh, this is going to be very exciting stuff. But
there's 1 more lap left. Is there anything left in Julie Show's sleeve? He's played every card he can. Is there one last trick for him? It's gonna take an absolute miracle. He might need some actual witchcraft in this final lap to get this championship off Kevroski. The rest just haven't gained on them. Yusho's been backing him up, but the rest just haven't gained as much as he needed them to. And of course, he needs 2 cars that aren't speedway racer to get ahead, or the 9-second gap to come into
that's
play.
exciting.
Here's speedway racer. 1 lap to go to end this championship, and it's looking like it's gonna be Kevroski as we go for the Senex's one last time for the DRS.
Steven gets a penalty.
Oh dear, Steve, and that's done it. That's done it.
So I think Deck will be third in the America's Cup, which means he'll be third in the overall championship, it looks like, at the moment. But this is our attention at the moment. Julie Show versus Kev. 2 of the best drivers in this league, and they're fighting to the death. I think it will be Kev's title, but on the road, this is great stuff. This is for the win of this race, don't forget, because Lewis Craig has 9 seconds worth of penalties, and I don't think it's going to come down to 9 seconds on the road unless one of them gets a penalty anyway. As they head towards Jung Gao, Lewis will go on board with Lewis. Why not? Because he's going to come across the line in first, but he's not going to finish in first. So for the final race this season, Lewis Craig comes across the line. He wins on track, but he's not going to win due to penalties. It'll be Julie Show that will be getting 50 points, but it won't be enough because Kev will get 40 points. The gap will only come down 10 points, and he would have needed to score more than that to claim the title. Kev Rusky is your Tier 2 champion for Season 11, and it's your America's Cup champion as well. He has done the double, and a great job for the Aston Martin driver. Not much pressure needed in the end, really, and he delivered.
Yeah, it's looking like there's times towards the end where it looked like it was over. Julie Show looked to have it. As the start of the safety car, the pace just was non-existent for Kevroski, but it looked like he was just managing his tires, and he's put his way through the field towards the end to get himself behind Julie Show, which is what he needed to seal the title. Julie Show tried everything. He tried to back him into the pack, but they were just too quick than the rest of the field to end up being pushed into the field. So it ended up being an easy last couple laps for Kevroski. Consolation prize for Julie Show is the win in Interlagos, but it's not a win in a race is nothing like winning the championship, which Kevroski can say he's gone.
So that is your order for tonight then. Julie Show wins the race from 11th on the grid. He technically did a last to first, but with obviously Lewis Craig in obviously starting lower because he's a reserve, so he technically did a last to first. Brilliant stuff, but he's used to doing that anyway. So we've got Kevin second, Excite third, Lewis Craig fourth, Deck in fifth. I do believe that will mean, if my maths is correct, he will be third overall as well. So well done to him.
Unfortunately, what's called when I said that he was within the penalty of Lewis Craig, because Lewis Craig
Oh
finished
yeah,
ahead of
he's
him.
not. Good point.
Acorn will not get.
So Deck will be 4th and Stephen will be 3rd overall. Interesting. I completely forgot about that actually, but yeah. So and we may as bring Mike back into this as well, but Kev, as we've gone to F2 for some reason, but Kev, deserving champion, do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, over the course of the season, obviously when I've been able to step in for tier 2, I mean, Kev and Julie's show have absolutely been fantastic, and you know, they've been a credit now throughout the season, and both of them going back and forth. Some of them having a couple of unfortunate moments here and there, which of course Julie's show last time out in Vegas, which of course I did provide the action there for. He did DNF, so that DNF really did matter in Vegas last time out.
It did. I think without that DNF, Julie Show would have been champion. I hate being honest here, but I think that's true. And I think that's going to definitely haunt him to the end of time, unfortunately. But season 11 is done in both tiers. We know who our overall champions are for both tiers. We know who our regional champions are for both tiers. And we don't have much of a break because next week F2 starts again. So that's going to be quite entertaining. But we will come across to, of course, the man who's been here for most of this season, who's been leading the com through the entire process as well. It's been a long season, Rando, but it's been a good one.
Oh, I'm absolutely tired. I don't know how the other guys feel about that. 100% races, they are something else. Like, Kev has deservedly won the championship. It was deserving between either two of them, realistically. The show, yeah, he's gonna rue that Vegas DNF, because he did at stages he looked comfortable for this championship, but a couple unfortunate moments, you know, just brought Kev in, and Kev just had that consistency. He was always up in the high ends of the points, and today it's proven again as he takes title here today. But Yuli Show should still be happy with what he's done today. He is, you know, he deserved it as much as Kev did. But there's only one championship available, unfortunately, and that championship goes to Kev. But he can have Constructors championship to fall back on. I'm not really sure if that's much of a consolation, but Alpine do win the Constructors. I think they had that sealed. They've got
that huge margin anyway, so the Constructors have already been decided. So
yeah, they did have that sealed.
Yeah, so at least Chili Show's going to get one consolation prize. Yeah, that is it for Tier 2. That is it for Season 11. Once again, thank you to all the drivers. Thank you to all the hosts for this season. Thank you to all the stewards. Thanks to Matter for providing the graphics this season. You've been amazing. Obviously, thank you to Randa and Mike for providing the commentary for both tiers as well. It's been a pleasure to work with you both, Mike for most of it and Rando for one race and for the first time as well. And we will head off for a week and then we will head to F2. I don't know what round it is for round number 1, but we will keep in touch for that one. So for myself, Mike and Rando, have a good evening, take care, and we will see you next week for some more VSL action, but in F2 cars. Take care, bye-bye.